Hi, I'm Elisa. For 28 years, I've been the one constant in my daughter Vanessa's life. I worked two jobs after her father Richard walked out when she was 4. Teaching kindergarten during the day and waitressing at night meant I missed sleep, not her dance recitals. I postponed my master's degree 3 times to pay for her college tuition. When she graduated, I was the loudest one cheering, even though I was dead on my feet from a double shift. Mom, you're embarrassing me! She'd rolled her eyes but hugged me tight afterward. That's literally my job description, honey. I'd winked, so proud of her marketing degree that I'd framed a copy for my apartment. We were tight, or I thought we were. Weekly Sunday brunches were our thing. She'd bring fresh bagels. I'd make my special mimosas. You're literally my best friend, Mom. Right back at you, kiddo. Then Tyler happened. Tall, confident, with that slick financial advisor talk. I noticed the change immediately. Our brunches became monthly. Then, when we can fit it in. He's just really focused on our future, Mom. You should see how he handles investments. I'm sure he's great, honey. I just miss seeing you. We're adults with busy lives. You understand, right? I nodded, swallowing my concerns. I didn't want to be that mother. Then came the call that changed everything. Vanessa was sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. Grandma's lawyer. Inheritance. $33 million, Mom. My mother had passed 6 months earlier. We knew she had money, but this amount? I was floored. That's incredible, honey. I'm coming over. The inheritance transformed my daughter overnight. Within 2 weeks, she and Tyler bought a mansion in the hills. I helped them move in, arranged furniture, planted flowers in the garden. This place is something else, I said, admiring the marble countertops Tyler was showing off. We deserve it, he replied, his arm possessively around Vanessa's waist. Don't we, babe? 3 days later, they invited me for dinner. I brought a housewarming gift, a handmade quilt I'd been working on for months. We need to talk, Mom. Vanessa wouldn't meet my eyes. About... Tyler cleared his throat. We've been discussing our living situation. What about it? We think you should find your own place. I blinked, confused. I have my own place. My apartment, remember? No, I mean... Vanessa finally looked up. You're always here. Every day. It's a bit much. I've been helping you settle in. We're settled now, Tyler said firmly. We need our space. I don't understand. My voice sounded small. It's time you lived your own life, Mom. Vanessa sighed. I love you, but I can't keep taking care of you forever. Taking care of me? When have I ever... Your apartment is subsidized senior housing, Tyler interrupted. You're clearly struggling. By choice, so you could have everything. This is exactly what I mean, Vanessa snapped. You always make me feel guilty for your choices. That's not. We want you to leave, Tyler said bluntly. Now. I stared at my daughter, waiting for her to contradict him. She didn't. I think you should go, Mom. I stood on shaky legs, leaving the quilt folded on their perfect couch. 28 years of sacrifice, dismissed in 20 minutes. I didn't remember the drive to Diane's place. 1 minute, I was walking out of my daughter's mansion. The next, I was sobbing on my sister's couch, a cup of tea growing cold between my shaking hands. The nerve of that girl? After everything you've done? Diane paced her small living room, fury radiating off her in waves. I don't understand what happened. We were so close. That boyfriend happened. I never trusted him. My phone buzzed. 3 texts from Vanessa. Sorry it came out harsh. You'll be happier having your independence. Love you. Independence? I've been independent since your father walked out 30 years ago. Who are you talking to? Diane peered over. Apparently, being thrown out is my ticket to independence. I tossed my phone aside. I'm sleeping in your guest room at 58. Some independence? The doorbell rang. Diane returned with Marcus, my friend from my second job at the community center where he ran security. I came as soon as I heard. He hugged me tightly. This is beyond messed up. You haven't even heard the worst part. That boyfriend practically did the talking. Marcus exchanged glances with Diane. About Tyler. That's partly why I'm here. He pulled out his laptop. I did some digging. Professional habit. What kind of digging? The kind that says your daughter's boyfriend has done this before? He turned the screen toward me. 3 times. I stared at news articles about investment fraud investigations and testimonials from women who'd lost everything. He was never convicted? Changed his name each time. Disappeared before charges stuck. Marcus scrolled through more documents. He's good at finding vulnerable, wealthy women. Vanessa isn't vulnerable. She is to someone who knows exactly what buttons to push. Look at how fast he isolated her from you. But her money is protected, right? She has $33 million. Marcus grimaced. My contact at First National says they've already moved $12 million to investment opportunities. High-risk stuff. My stomach dropped. Can we warn her? Would she listen? Diane asked gently. I knew the answer. Not now. Not from me. There's more, Marcus continued. He's made big promises to some shady characters. Offshore accounts, shell companies. Classic setup before a disappearing act. He's going to take her money and run. Not if we stop him first. Marcus closed his laptop. But a direct confrontation will just push her further away. So what do? We watch, we document. We build a case so solid that when it breaks, she'll have to see the truth. Diane brought more tea. And how exactly do we do that? I have friends in financial crimes. Marcus pulled out his phone. They owe me favors. We can set up monitoring on those offshore accounts, track the money trail. Is that legal? I asked. Let's just say it's in a gray area for a good cause. For the first time since being thrown out, I felt a spark of something other than pain. I want to see his face when it all falls apart. Revenge won't make you feel better, Diane cautioned. This isn't about revenge. It's about protecting my daughter from a predator. Marcus nodded. First step, I need access to any financial documents you might have. Birthday cards, Christmas gifts, anything with account numbers or banks mentioned. I remembered the investment folder Vanessa had proudly shown me before Tyler came along. She gave me copies for safekeeping last year. They're in my apartment. Perfect. We'll get those tomorrow. What if it's too late? The fear crept back in. What if he's already taken everything? Trust me, Marcus said, his expression determined. Men like Tyler get greedy. They always stick around too long, thinking they can get more. That's when we'll catch him. As I lay in Diane's guest bed that night, I couldn't sleep. All I could see was my daughter's face when she told me to leave. The daughter I'd given everything for. Hold on, sweetheart, I whispered into the darkness. Mom's coming. 2 weeks of surveillance revealed Tyler's increasingly reckless moves with Vanessa's fortune. Marcus and I huddled over his laptop in Diane's kitchen, watching the money drain away. Another $5 million gone, Marcus pointed to the screen. That's $17 million he's moved offshore. To where exactly? A fake tech startup in Singapore, exclusive real estate in Dubai, and something called Horizon Investments in the Caymans, all controlled by shell companies tied to Tyler. My neighbor texted that Vanessa had come looking for me at my apartment. Don't contact her yet, Marcus warned. We need more evidence first. The next day, we followed Tyler to an upscale restaurant. Through Marcus's directional microphone, we captured everything. The market's getting shaky. How quickly can we liquidate the rest? About 2 weeks. The girlfriend still trusts me completely. Better hurry. These economic indicators look bad. By the time she figures it out, I'll be on a beach with $20 million. She can keep the house. I nearly crushed the camera in rage. That's enough. Let's tell Vanessa now. Not yet. He'll just deny everything. We need official investigations first. Marcus compiled our evidence photos, recordings, financial trails, and sent an anonymous tip to his contact at the Financial Crimes Unit. 3 days later, the market crashed. Tech stocks plummeted, real estate froze, and those exclusive investments became nearly worthless overnight. They're freezing the offshore accounts tomorrow, Marcus's contact informed us. That evening, Diane burst through the door. Turn on the news. The business channel showed federal agents raiding investment firms. Breaking news. Authorities moving on multiple offices in connection with an international fraud scheme. My phone rang. Richard, my ex-husband, calling for the first time in years. Have you heard from Vanessa? That boyfriend emptied their joint account and disappeared. She called me hysterical. I hung up, trembling. Tyler's running with whatever's left. Marcus was already making calls. I'll alert my contact. They can flag his passport. Desperate pounding interrupted us. Diane opened the door to Vanessa. Mascara streaked down her face, hair disheveled, clutching only her purse. Mom! Her voice broke. I've lost everything. I froze. Maternal instinct battling fresh betrayal. The accounts, the investments, they're gone. The house is being seized. Tyler disappeared with what was left. She collapsed against the doorframe. Please help me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I stood at the threshold, years of sacrifice and weeks of pain suspended between us like a curtain about to fall. I let Vanessa step inside, her designer clothes now looking like expensive rags on her shaking frame. Diane and Marcus exchanged glances but said nothing. You were right about him, about everything. Vanessa collapsed onto the couch. He cleaned out our accounts this morning and left a note saying, "Thanks for the memories." I trusted him with everything. Not everything, I said quietly. Vanessa looked up, confusion cutting through her tears. What? He didn't get everything. I sat across from her, maintaining distance despite my urge to comfort her. About $8 million is still safe. How? He had access to all the accounts. Not the ones I set up in a trust 3 months ago. I pulled out a folder. Remember when you asked me to keep copies of your inheritance paperwork? I noticed some red flags in Tyler's investment strategy and took precautions. Vanessa's eyes widened. You knew? All this time? Not just knew. Marcus stepped forward. Your mother orchestrated his downfall. What are you talking about? I nodded to Marcus, who turned his laptop to show Vanessa the surveillance photos, financial trails, and recorded conversations. We've been tracking him for weeks, I explained. Building a case, documenting everything, and feeding information to financial authorities. You did this? Vanessa stared at me in disbelief. Every bit of it. Those federal agents raiding his office? My tip. The frozen offshore accounts? My evidence? But why didn't you just tell me? Would you have believed me? You threw me out of your house when I questioned his character? Vanessa flinched. He said you were trying to control me, that you were jealous of our happiness. Classic isolation technique, Diane finally spoke. He's done it before to other women. There were others, Vanessa whispered. 3 that we know of. I pushed another file toward her. He changed his name each time. Vanessa flipped through the documents, horror dawning on her face. Oh God, what have I done? You were manipulated by a professional con man, Marcus said. That doesn't excuse how I treated you. Vanessa reached for my hand. Mom, I'm so sorry. I'll do anything to make this right. I pulled my hand away. Sorry doesn't erase being thrown away like garbage after 28 years of sacrifice. He's going to jail, right? Vanessa asked. Probably, but there's more you should know. I hesitated. He came looking for you at your office. When your assistant said you'd gone to the bank to freeze accounts, he threatened her. Security cameras caught everything. There's a warrant for domestic terrorism charges now. He threatened Melanie? Vanessa covered her mouth in horror. Said he'd make you both disappear if she told you she'd seen him. Vanessa broke down completely. I've lost everything. My home, my money, my reputation. Not everything, I repeated. The trust I set up holds $8 million. It's structured so only certain types of withdrawals are permitted. You're still protecting me, even after what I did. I'm your mother. That doesn't change, even when you break my heart. What happens now? I stood up, straightening my shoulders. You can stay with Diane until we find you an apartment. A normal apartment, not a mansion. You'll get a monthly allowance from the trust. Enough to live on, not enough to attract another Tyler. And you'll see a therapist twice weekly. And us? Will you forgive me? Forgiveness is earned, not given. We start with weekly dinners, just talking, building back what was broken. My terms, my timeline. Vanessa nodded slowly. I understand. I don't think you do, but you will. I gathered my coat. First lesson, the money never mattered, family did. Remember that next time someone offers you the world while asking you to throw away your mother? Was Elisa justified in orchestrating Tyler's downfall behind Vanessa's back? Or should she have warned her daughter directly despite knowing she wouldn't listen? Would you have set such strict terms for rebuilding your relationship with a child who betrayed you? Or would you have forgiven more easily once they came crawling back? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story of a mother who refused to be discarded, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories where karma comes full circle. New uploads every day.